so close at hand. Let's take account and raise a glass to our merry bands. The albatross it sails the waves while iron sallies forth. The oaken knights know ancient ways and none of them are coarse.
I'm off duty, newcomer. Got a complaint? Take it to one of the... We police High Isle. Ships that haven't arrived yet aren't our problem. Besides, we've got our hands full with these so-called Ascendant Order Knights. They're stirring up trouble all across the island. Just that they're little more than well-armed bandits. They've been recruiting the poor to bolster their numbers. Now they're robbing caravans while claiming they fight for justice. Honest folk don't hide their faces behind helmets and masks. They're malcontents. They go on about how the high and mighty misuse their power by squabbling over the Ruby Throne. It started out small enough, defying authority, inciting riots, petty sabotage. But now they're hurting people. Something else, newcomer? I'd like to get back to my drink. Ordinary bandits, the Sisters' Guard can handle. But when we send enough guards to meet a company of Ascendant Order Ravagers, these faceless knights just melt away. And if we don't send enough guards, then our guards don't come back. Might as well be. Most knights proudly display their emblems. They wear the colors of their house and paint family crests on their shields. These Ascendant Order Knights never remove their helms and bear no devices. They could be anybody.
I hear these knights are robbing people and looting caravans. Someone ought to do...
Hello. Would you happen to be looking for work?
I have jobs and gold to pay.
You're a new face. Must be here about the notice, am I right? Of course I'm right. If you need work and aren't too concerned about the risks, then we should talk. I assure you... Oh, you misunderstand. I'm not the hirer, just an agent. More of an administrator, really. I make sure the job brokers are on the up and up. Speak to Waylode, Paris Plouffe, or Druid Pisca. They hire adventurers on a daily basis. Curiosity, with a dash of prudence. Good qualities for an adventurer. Means you'll live longer. All right, who do you want me to tell you about? We've been having issues with lava fissures recently. They appear in various places, spew molten rock and strange creatures, and create a danger for the area. Druid Pisca can tell you more. I recommend you form a group to deal with these threats. Waylode represents business interests in Gonfalon Bay. They're more than willing to pay for an adventurer's help to acquire items or gather components from specific locations. A single adventurer can usually handle these tasks on their own. Sometimes the Sisters' Guard and the various knightly orders need a little help, especially with the terrible monsters that lurk in the island's wild places. Paris recruits adventurers for these tough jobs. You'll need a group to deal with these. Easy as piercing a gore apple with my tusk. If you prefer to work alone, go see Waylode. If you want to work as part of a group, then talk to either Paris or Druid Pisca. Here's a modest advance to show how serious we are about these opportunities. Remember, Waylode provides jobs you can handle on your own, while Paris and Druid Pisca deal in work that requires a group to complete safely. You'll be paid handsomely for every task you complete. I guarantee it. Oh, you misunderstand. I'm not the hirer, just an agent. More of an...
Let's ride. You've got a knack for stumbling across those things.
Oh, a traveler. I thought those vile knights had returned. Forgive me, I must continue praying for the return of our idol. Without it, this tower's light will remain dark. This lighthouse is special. It's blessed by Kynareth, the god of winds and sea. No fire serves as a beacon for nearby ships, but the divine light of Kynareth herself. But without the sacred idol, the light cannot shine. Alas, the idol was stolen. Knights in unmarked livery broke in and stole the Kynareth idol. I watched the scoundrels flee to the west with the sacred edifice. Perhaps, dare I ask, would you be willing to recover the idol for the lighthouse so I may restore the beacon? They may wear the garb of knights, but the ruffians who assaulted me carry themselves like robbers and outlaws. Whoever they are, they're dangerous. Be wary of them, and may the wind guide you. Bless you, traveler. Please understand, to my order, this is more than just a lighthouse. This beacon spreads Kynareth's blessing across both land and sea, but only with the idol in place, so it must be returned. It is marvelous, is it not? This is actually the second beacon to stand atop Gonfalon Head. It dates back to the early 1st century. When I assumed my duties here, the tower was in poor repair. Dangerous, even. When Duchess Alea Dufort assumed her father's duties a few years ago, she ordered a complete renovation of the structure. I'm sure she wanted to protect trade in Gonfalon Bay, but she spared no expense in rebuilding the lighthouse.
Right behind you, partner.
Rocky, no! Don't do that!
Let's hit the trail.
Get away from me, stupid thing! Is it gone? Steer clear of Tor Drayok, stranger. Those strange moats are everywhere. I saw one of them turn a cow into a person. I'm getting out of here before one of them gets me. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a farm animal. I don't know. I was just trying to cut through the area around the old wizard's tower there when I spotted those strange moats. It was chaos. Unnatural things started happening, and then one of the moats started chasing me. No, not that I've ever seen. and I take that shortcut almost every day. The Magister who lives there and his Khajiit assistant, Ember, are nice enough. I hope they're all right, but I'm not crazy enough to go back. You look brave. Maybe you could?
The day is ours!
Check again. I hear there's a hero around causing trouble.
Let's hit the trail. To arms!
hope you don't mind me saying so, but you look like someone who's good at cleaning up messes. I've got a big one for you, if you're up for it. I'd pay you for your time, but I need someone quick on their feet. This mess is turning into a crisis. I was experimenting with a spell while my mentor, Magister Iran, was away, but the magic went awry. If it doesn't get dealt with, it's going to spread beyond this area and harm a bunch of innocent people. I can't fix it on my own, so I need help. I need to develop a counterspell. But first, the protective wards around the area need to be restored by someone other than myself, so I don't taint the magic. That's where you come in. Like I said, if you help, I can pay. Hold still. You'll need this unless you want to spend the next few hours as a sheep. Not as glamorous as it sounds. And here, take these crystals. You'll need them to restore the wards. The first one is in the meadow just up the hill to the north. Mostly they serve to keep errant magic inside Tordriak's boundaries. You know, the standard 3 points of protection thing. Unfortunately, my spell kicked those wards in the teeth. They're not protecting anything now. The spell I created has my magical mark on it, if that makes sense. There are certain types of magic that can be affected by their creator, intentionally or not. Messing with forces already attuned to you can have unpredictable results. Exactly. Magic is powerful and great and all that, but it can be pretty sensitive. Fussy, Magister Irin likes to say. And since my spell is already wreaking havoc across Tordreak, I'd rather not take any unnecessary risks while fixing it. Here we are. I'm going to cast a little purifying spell. Let's do this quick. That's one ward restored. Let's go fix the next one. It's in the glade just west of here. I really should have paid more attention to Magister Irin when he was explaining how these protective wards work. I should have paid more attention to him in general, actually. The next one is in the glade. It's just across the way to the west. Unfortunately, no. The wards are just to keep the unstable magic inside the bounds of Tordrea. That way, I can work on a counterspell without worrying about the original spell spreading. Magister Irin made sure I knew what they were and what purpose they served as soon as he took me on as an apprentice. He wanted me to be familiar with as much as Tordreac as possible, or at least the parts that keep it safe. Oh, you're a natural. Maybe you should have been Magister Irin's apprentice.
Attack! Practice makes the master.
This is the last one. Let's get this over with quick. Place the warding crystal. That's all the wards. Let's talk outside. I need to figure out what to do next. Stupid moats! I know my rogue spell is to blame for most of the weirdness happening around Tordreok, but it almost seems like these damned moats are becoming dangerous. They're doing more than just mischievous magic. Ugh, fish biscuits. I need to figure this out. I'm not sure. The moats aren't new. They're always hanging around Tordreok. I think they're drawn to places like this. But there was nothing in my spell that should have made them act malevolent. And there are a lot more around than usual. Yes, I can make traps to contain them, but I'm still worried about their behavior. While I work on the traps, could you head into the tower and look to Magister Irin's things? He might have a book with more information about the moats. See if you can find anything in the tower about the moats. I'll meet you there and start on the traps.
This is ridiculous. I knew Magister Irin should never have taken in a mangy cat like you.
Relax.
You better work fast, because when Magister Irin... What the... Oh!
All right. That was a little funny. you in here? Did you find anything useful about the moats? I finished the traps. Once we set them up, they should take care of the moats. Then I can sort out the livestock in Huldressa, and at some point create a counterspell to fix everything for good. Did you learn anything useful? Oh, I read that one, with the Wind Sorrow lady, right? Oh, what if my spell disturbed her and that's why the moats are acting up? That's troubling, and also a problem for future Ember. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Or two things, actually. The traps are finished, but the livestock and Huldressa are still a problem. I want to figure out a way to return them all to their natural forms before the illusion does any damage. Could you set the traps while I do that? Here, I'll mark some places to set the traps. They're in a pack by the work tables outside. While you do that, I'll figure out how to fix the livestock and Huldressa. Then I can work on my counterspell. Meet me by the livestock pens when you're done. Good luck setting up the traps. I'll meet you by the livestock pens when you're finished. I'll be by the livestock pens once you're finished setting the traps. Hopefully, I'll have a solution by the time you get there.
Let's go!
I am not afraid of you.
All right, let's get you two back to your regular chicken selves. Ha! I knew it would work. Run along, lady. You're back! The traps worked, didn't they? See? I told you I know what I'm doing. Mostly. Speaking of which, I think I figured out a way to return the livestock to their original forms. I made something. I know it looks like a spoon, but, well, technically it is a spoon, but I enchanted it. And I call it the Spoon of Undo. I just tested it on those chickens. It removes the illusions perfectly. Normally I wouldn't bother, but illusions can be disorienting and cause terrible headaches. I don't want any of the animals suffering while I come up with my counterspell. Oh, and Huldressa. I suppose I don't really want her suffering either. Here, take the Spoon of Undo. If you could run around and fix the livestock and Huldressa, that will give me a chance to finally whip up this counterspell. By the time you're finished, I'm sure I'll have something figured out. Just look around for people making animal noises. I'm sure they won't be hard to find. And tell them I'm sorry when you change them back, would you? As for Huldressa, I'm all in favor of leaving her as a guar. Just kidding. Kind of. It sounds cute when you say it. It's a pretty simple reversing enchantment. It should counteract the magic from the motes and dispel the illusion. Basic stuff, not even I can mess up. I wasn't trying to turn animals into people, I swear. I had a theory about animating the inanimate. One of Magister Irin's texts gave me the idea. That's probably why he locks so many of his books away, now that I think about it. Well, I'm hoping to avoid that scenario. But if it does happen, I'm not sure. He's an odd one. I'm too old for him to punish, and he's not really the type to dole out discipline anyway. I think he'd be disappointed, which is so much worse. I'll be in the tower working on the counterspell. Come find me when you're done.
Was I just a guar? This is all Emma's fault. Oh, I feel strange. It was quite unpleasant. Thank you for saving me. I know I'm nothing to gawk at, but I prefer to look like this instead of a guar. All right. She made me look like a guar. What do you think? I told Magister Aaron that Emma was trouble the moment she showed up. Trouble, I said. But did he listen? There wouldn't be anything to work out if that careless Khajiit would listen more and mind her elders. She's brash and often quite rude. Why am I standing here talking to you? I'm going back to my kitchen, and I may just have a glass of brandy.
Fish biscuits. That wasn't right.
So, I've run into a problem. I have good news and bad news. The good news is that I've nearly finished my counterspell, but I need to find a tome called The Mirrored Way to complete it. I know Magister Aaron has it, but it's not with the rest of his books. That's the bad news. Because if the Mirrored Way isn't with the rest of his things, it's probably locked away in his arcane library. The library he specifically forbids me from entering. The tome I need has to be in there. Without it, I can't make the counterspell. Magister Aaron has warned me not to enter his library 1,000 times. But these are special circumstances. There will probably be some magical traps inside meant to keep me out. So I'll need your help getting the book while I deal with them. Once we find the Mirrored Way in Magister Aaron's library, I can finish my counterspell. I just hope the old man wasn't serious about putting something dangerous inside to keep me out. He was definitely kidding. Had to be. Come on, let's go. Not sure. I picked the lock on the place as soon as I figured out he didn't want me getting in there. He's since put up protections and told me to stay out unless I have his permission. I'm sure he's got some kind of ward or barrier set up. It wasn't hard. Mages like Magister Aaron tend to think in very magical ways. They'll put magic reinforcements over every inch of a place, but forget a few pins and a good ear can foil them. And to be necessity, I wasn't exactly raised in the lap of luxury. Not even in the lap of genteel poverty, for that matter. You get good at things like that if you don't want to be hungry. Or caught by guards or angry merchants. Follow me. The library's downstairs. Give me just a moment to pick the lock. All right, let's get in and out as quick as we can. Don't sense anything. Maybe the old man was bluffing. Fish biscuits! This spell is specifically targeting me. I'll figure out a way down. You just focus on getting the book. That's it! You got it! Now, let's get out of here before I set off something else.
Disturb not my rest, foul creatures.
Magister Irin really didn't want me getting in there, huh? I have to admire the dedication. I didn't know the old man had it in him. He had something to target me specifically. What a sneaky old goat. Good thing I had you with me. You managed to get the book, right? Let me see it. Let me take a look. No, not that. That would be bad. What about this? Oh, here it is. It's Amahan ist Exis, not Gahan Amexis ist. Good thing I checked. See? That's personal growth right there. 2 different arcane glyphs. They do entirely different things when written and pronounced aloud. The second one is what I need for my counterspell. Now, all that's left is to get to the old ritual circle and cast this. I'll need your help again. The counterspell should set everything right in Tordrayak. Things will be just as Magister Irin left them, and I won't have to face his furrowed brow. I'll need your help at the ritual site. Casting a spell this big is a 2-person job. The old ritual circle is a place of power, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. I plan to draw on the magic there to help strengthen my counterspell. Magister Irin told me about it. This probably isn't how he wanted to implement the lesson. I wish you could, but since this is my spell, I think it's safer if I'm the only one who messes with it. But I appreciate the thought. Believe me, I'm still going to need your help when we get to the ritual site. No idle hands for you. Maybe? Old tales and myths always start from some truth at some point in time. The moats around here seem to be affected by more than my spell, is all I'm saying. I always expect the worst. I find it helpful. If luck is with us, maybe just some irritated wildlife we can deal with as we've done before. Or some of the bolder moats. But if there is some truth to the ancient tales, then maybe we find some sort of really cranky wind spirit. The ritual circle is just up the hill to the north. I'll meet you there. I'm here. First, we need to set the ritual flames. There's 3 around the site. Light the 3 ritual flames here. I'll get the ones on the altar. I'm here. First, we need to set the ritual flames. There's 3 around the site. Light the 3 ritual flames here. I'll get the ones on the altar. Here we go.
Disturb not my rest, foul creatures.
my rest.
Almost there. It's done. The spell is set. Follow me. We should be able to see it materialize. Any second now. It worked! We did it! Come on, let's get back to the tower.
Used to work under these conditions. I was turned into a Guar. A Guar!
Of course, Huldressa. I promise to address the situation.
See that you do.
Huldressa sold me out, didn't she?
Let me speak to your associate first, Ember. So, you were witness to the events here, and as I understand it, you had a hand in bringing them to an end. For that, I thank you. And if you'll indulge me, I do have a few lingering questions. What in the world happened? I don't know what I expected, leaving her to her own devices here, even temporarily. Ember and Trouble are old friends. I can still feel the repercussions of this spell gone awry, as you say. Do I have you to thank for rectifying it? I see. As trying as she can be, she truly is a talented mage. She can be impatient, but given her natural inclination to magic, it's understandable. I always knew I was perhaps not the best teacher for her. I took her in because I knew I couldn't leave someone as skilled and impulsive as her to her own devices. But I have neither the time nor aptitude to teach her properly. It's my own failing. Speak to her, would you? I must collect my thoughts. Don't worry. Ember isn't in any trouble. While I am not pleased about my traumatized cook, I must concede that everything is back in order and the consequences of Ember's magic weren't dire. Still, I must consider what to do now. I don't mean to give the impression that Ember is incapable of learning. That's not the case. She's a bright mage, one of the brightest I've ever seen. Everything I've taught her, she's taken to like flame to parchment. But therein lies the problem. Well, just like a flame, Ember wants to devour everything around her. Her appetite for knowledge is ceaseless. That's good quality in a mage, but not necessarily one I'm equipped to deal with. By my own admission, I'm methodical, cautious, by the books. Exactly right. Ember needs someone who can keep up with her. Someone who thrusts themselves headlong into adventure so that she may temper herself and her magic beside them. Perhaps when I was younger, I could have been that for her, but not now.
Hey, you! Let's talk while Magister Irin collects his thoughts. I thought Magister Irin would be as mad as a wet dragon, but he looks amused. It's probably because he's wanted to turn Huldressa into a guar at some point. He just won't admit it. And the fact that we fixed it all before he got here helped. Well, I've been thinking. I'm grateful to Magister Irin, but sitting and reading about magic has little appeal to me. This whole thing just proved to me that I'm too restless here. I want to do magic, not just study it. Go on adventures, see things. I think it's time. I've been given good training here, but I still have a lot to learn. For me, the best teachers are curiosity and experience. I learn best by doing, so I need to get out in the world and continue my training. Ember the Sorcerer. I like the sound of that, but that can come later. First, take this. It's not much, but you deserve it. I think we made a good team today. If you ever need a sorcerer who has your back, let me know. We'd have some fun. Magister Irin, I'm grateful for your teachings and your patience, but I think it's time for me to move on.
The world is an excellent teacher for one of your talents, Ember. Do write me occasionally.
I should go pack my things. And say goodbye to Huldressa. Not a chance.
Ember has a sharp mind. It's her enthusiasm that gets in her way most often.
That's some nice-looking gear, Wayfarer. Might want to watch it around these parts. People are desperate. Makes them do desperate things. Gonfalon Bay looks prosperous enough. Comfortable. Gold for all. Just the image the nobles want you to see. They fatten their purses on the spoils of war. Meanwhile, common folks scrape to get by. Things wash up here all the time. It only takes one good find to fill your belly for a week. Though even the Shallows are thin pickings of late. It's that new knightly order. Seems they can't even leave us the scraps. Aye, the Ascended, or something like that. They don't wear the colors of any house. Come from the mainland, I think. They've been recruiting here on High Isle. Even took some of us salvagers. Can't see why, though. We're not trained soldiers.
This is my spot. Find your own spot. Anything shiny. Look, this is the best spot. Albert used to have this spot, and now he's a knight. I bet he's eating meat pies and berry tarts right now. All I need to do is find something they want. The knights, they wear helms and carry no emblems, but their armor is knight armor. They asked Albert if he wanted to go with them. He's a knight now, too. Just need to find something they'll like. Something to show them I'm worthy.
You don't look like a salvager. Come to join up with those so-called knights who've been hanging around, did you? Feh! I'd rather go hungry than swear myself to the likes of them. Haven't seen anything sail by in the lock recently, and no new wreckage washed up today. But I've been keeping my head down. Those robber knights have been chasing off salvagers who won't promise to help them. They were recruiting, or at least offering the chance to earn a reward. They wanted people ready to haul in whatever came ashore. Several salvagers went with them. I wouldn't, though. What I find is mine. To a cave just down the beach. But I'd avoid it if I were you. Old Charbel nearly lost his head snooping around there. I don't know if they found what they were looking for, but I think they left a few knights behind to watch the shallows.
This is a great area for harvesting.
Taste our steel! For glory!
This is taking longer than I planned.
Look here, if it isn't King Emric's own champion, the hero of the Covenant.
Come on, get out of there! day will be ours! Sheath your weapons. The battle is won.
You return, and with the idol. Place it here, and I shall call forth its light. Mother Kinnereth, this traveler has set right the desecration of this holy place. Return to us your blessing, and let your light shine over the land and sea. I cannot thank you enough. With the idol returned and the light restored, we can ensure the safe passage of many a weary traveler. Is there any way a priest of humble means could repay you? A blessing, perhaps? Shortly after the lighthouse was pillaged, I spied 3 ships on the horizon. Then suddenly, the clouds darkened, and a terrible storm began to blow in. I lost sight of the ships after that. Perhaps they were simply blown off course? Amanos is notorious for its storms, but Kinnereth generally blesses High Isle with fair weather. I wonder, the way the storm swept in seemed unnatural, and it happened so soon after Kinnereth's idol was removed. The idol has little value outside the lighthouse. Its light does not shine in any other location. My order believes Kinnereth's light blesses High Isle. Why steal the idol unless the knights meant to revoke her protection? A troubling thought indeed.
Good. You found my field office. I thought I'd keep an eye on the lock while awaiting your report. My own investigations have turned up little about our missing ships. Tell me, did you uncover anything useful? Did the lighthouse keeper spot them? Darken the beacon? The locals revere that light. Who would dare offend Kinrith in such a way? Something is indeed wrong here. At least our missing ships reached these waters, but this storm worries me. Tell me more about the Rogue Knights. The Ascendant Order? Here? I heard rumors of knights troubling folk outside of town, but I had no idea they were the culprits. I've had dealings with the Order before. This doesn't bode well. Tell me, did you learn anything at the Shallows? It seems the Ascendant Order knew the ships would be wrecked, and they helped make sure by extinguishing the lighthouse beacon. They knew my cargo was coming to High Isle. This means the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild delegates are in danger too. Ah, you caught that, did you? My missing cargo is more delegates for the conference, perhaps the most important ones. But I need you to check on the guild delegates right now. They went to visit a druid named Ravana. Her hut lies to the west. The Ascendant Order models itself after other knightly orders, but they're nothing but terrorists. They claim to stand against those who would subjugate the nations of Tamriel under Imperial rule, but I suspect they plan to take power for themselves. They are well-funded and have a strong presence on the mainland. They proclaim a powerful message about greedy rulers and costly wars, but it's mostly rhetoric. Not that the common folk see that. Our conference makes a tempting target, I'm sure. Valesia of the Mages Guild is a dear friend. We shared a few adventures when she was starting out, and I called upon her when I needed help with a conference. She enchanted the invitation medallions the delegates require to attend the conference. I only met Guild General Quentin when he arrived. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders, but the war has cost him dearly. He lost his wife in a raid. I understand why the Fighters Guild chose to send him to the conference.
Greetings, traveler. Is there something I can do for you? Do you need a poultice or perhaps an herbal tea? Ah, yes. The curious mage and the stern warrior. They stopped by. When I mentioned that rogue knights had been making the countryside dangerous, they decided to investigate. I told them where I'd last seen the knights, and they set out at once. A clearing to the southwest. I'll mark the spot on your map. I saw a band of the knights gathering there the last time I went out to gather herbs. They forced me to retreat without them. I warned Valesia and Quentin it might be dangerous. Oh, you'll find druids throughout the Sisters Archipelago. Not too many on the mainland, though. Long ago, we druids left Tamriel and its troubles behind us. But here, our ancient ways survived. Our forebears among the Bretons believed civilization should live alongside nature, not tame it. In the early years of the Direni hegemony, they struggled for the soul of High Rock. They lost. Driven into exile, the Druids left to seek a place where they could live according to their beliefs. We follow the old ways. Some call us priests of Ifre, but that is only part of our truth. We are children of the land, like the Weird, guides and teachers to those who live in harmony with nature. People were not meant to bow before crowns of metal. No, friend. We know the Weird, and we respect their beliefs. Druids and Weiresses are two branches that grow from the same tree. But we are called to be in this world, not to withdraw from it. Some circles see it. Circles are fellowships of like-minded druids. Each interprets Ifre's will differently, but druids of the same circle share common traditions and goals. I belong to the Stonelore Circle. We seek to teach others by the example of our work. Yes, travel far enough in the archipelago and you may meet druids of the Eldertide or Firesong circles. Although the Firesong rarely leave their island, and you should be wary of the Eldertide. They do not like city folk or mainlanders.
I can't believe you drank our entire stock.
May, where's your proof? Just because I woke up in a pile of bottles doesn't mean I'm guilty. Those could have been gotten there in any number of ways.
Hello there. Say, you look like the type who could go traipsing around dangerous areas in search of rare ingredients. Could I interest you in a job? There's coin in it for you, and the knowledge that you'd be bringing joy to many in Gonfalon Bay. My partner and I are purveyors and creators of fine drinks. Hilgrim does more drinking than creating, however, which got us into our current trouble. We were on the cusp of making a groundbreaking new spirit, then Hilgrim drank our entire supply. We need 3 ingredients to make another batch, and Hilgrim's in no state to get them himself. The drink requires flesh flies, a sister's passion flower, and a druid's bane mushroom. If I marked the locations on your map, would you gather them for us? Here, these spots should have the ingredients I mentioned. If you can gather them and bring them back, I can whip up a drink that's sure to make all the mainlanders empty out their pockets. Pilgrim and I are always experimenting with different flavors and ingredients. Not all of them are successful, of course, but this combination in particular was exceedingly delicious. We stumbled upon something revolutionary. I'm sure of it. We've only just met, lovely stranger. I can't go giving you all our secrets just yet. Hilgrim and I have a special technique when it comes to the blending, but truthfully, we can't take all the credit. The local ingredients play a major role. The flesh fly wings add a bit of bitterness and body to the drink. The sister's passion flower gives it a lovely floral aftertaste and a lovely color. And that particular type of mushroom infuses a great deal of sweetness and heaviness to the mix. Yes, this place brings in rich nobles by the bucketful, or at least it used to before those delegates came around. But there are still enough gadabouts to take advantage of. People who will pay almost anything for a taste of something different. Well, you wouldn't know it by looking at him right now, but he's actually a very charming, intelligent, and passionate man. We fell in love over a bottle of Alto wine years ago, and discovered we both had a gift for concocting delicious libations. He makes me want to tear my hair out most days. But yes, we are. As much as he vexes me, he makes me laugh too. And he has incredible ideas. It was his notion to use the flesh flies to add a hint of bitterness to the drink. Just brilliant. Yes, this place brings in...
you here? I could use some help. You're the one Lady Arabelle spoke to at the docks, aren't you? You volunteered to help investigate the ships that failed to reach port. It's good to see a friendly face, especially after what just happened. Guild General Quinton accompanied me to visit Druid Ravana. When she told us about rogue knights in the area, Quinton was eager to investigate. It was the Ascendant Order. They overpowered Quinton and knocked me senseless. They captured Quinton. I don't think so. The Ascendant Order was definitely trying to take us alive. That's the only reason I had the opportunity to throw up a shroud spell and avoid being captured myself. Did you come out here to find us? And Ravana told you where to find us. Good. Now, we must rescue Quinton. I may have a way to find where the Ascendant Order took him, but we should get to safety first. Meet me back at Druid Ravana's hut. No. We came upon them just as they were finishing an attack on a caravan. But I assume they recognized us or decided our station warranted capture rather than elimination. But you came with a warning, didn't you? What did you find out? Wrecked the ships? How in oblivion could they coordinate such a thing? Clearly, the Ascendant Order is aware of the plans for Lord Baccaro's conference. They're here in force and causing more trouble than we anticipated. If they recognized us as delegates, there's all sorts of ways they could hold that over the conference. If they just assume we're rich nobles, ransom is always an option. But who can really say what those helmeted bastards are thinking? Lady Arabelle and I had dealt with them on the mainland. The Order tried to stop the conference by striking at delegates before they even left Tamriel. We stopped them, but not before the previous guild delegate was killed. Then they appointed me. I came to talk to Ravana about arcane and related topics, and Quinton decided to tag along. When Ravana told us about rogue knights, I feared it might be the Ascendant Order. Quinton wanted to investigate. It turned out I was right. No. We came upon them just as they were finishing an attack on a caravan, but...
Side with me. I just know it. Next roll is going to get it all back.